recognize the role that technology plays, in helping regulators, also making the financial services industry to be more efficient. But I have always looked at technology as a sweet and sour sauce. That is to say, yes, it's nice to deploy technology. It brings in all of the efficiencies. It brings in new products and a lot of opportunities, particularly for the new startup companies. But it's also a lot of headache for the regulators, because technology, once it starts, it's difficult to stop it. You can't run after it. And like somebody said, that regulators are always taking that the innovators and the operators, for me, capital market operators, they're always far, far, far ahead of regulators. They would already have arrived at their destination before the regulators will begin to put on their shoes. Before they lace it, they are already there. And this is a kind of sort of headache for most regulators. I'd like to stop there.
Now, if we look at most of the discussion we're talking about here around fintech, you find out that the basic has always been payments. Majority of fintechs today are within the payment system space in Nigeria. Although we all hoping that we'll see more people going into the credit side, the insurance and premium as well, and pension as well. However, to get all those done, it is essential that the payment system is managed and regulated in such a way that allows other innovation to play on it.
What have you seen lately that has impressed you in terms of Regtech-based solutions that you've seen either for banks or for regulators that you see are promising? You've talked about already some of the interest shown by startups in the sandbox. So what examples do you think are more relevant or are worth talking about?
I think what will be exciting forward is the ability to have analytics embedded in the reporting innovations that we are having. So you have a situation where you have supervisors, regulators who perhaps will need more training to be able to carry out, to function more or less as a data scientist or an analyst. When such solutions are embedded in the reporting platform, in the reporting technology, it makes the work easier. Aside that, when we think of big data and the opportunities that is there in, even for regulators, you need a solution that simplifies the essence of big data to regulators. And I think that's where we should be heading towards. Secondly, one important one that I've come across of recent is a Nigerian tech startup that employed artificial intelligence to do its credit scoring. So I was at the SEBI retreat. It's called the Committee of Heads of E-Banking, and this startup was invited, and it talked about using artificial intelligence to credit score and advance loans as a result of that. That's an interesting one. However, there is always the need to interface this with the regulatory requirements for credit administration.
In addition to what he has said, which also applies to the capital market, one other thing that I think is very important both for the economy and the market is the issue of crowdfunding. We have seen a lot of interest in that direction, particularly as it concerns the SMEs. Already, as we would know, Nigeria has already embraced the donation and the reward aspects of crowdfunding, but the equity and the real estate aspect of crowdfunding we have not been able to move forward with that. And the reason, the Commission would very much want to entertain application in respect of this. In fact, as we speak, we have rules governing crowdfunding. But unfortunately, the two laws that affect the operations of the capital market did not envisage crowdfunding. For instance, the Section 67 of the ISA prevents private people, any company that is not a public company, from raising funds from the capital market. Same as CAMA, Section 22 of CAMA. So this constrained, the Commission from doing anything about it, in spite of the interest. And we look at it, crowdfunding is majorly for SMEs, private companies. So if we look at it, even if we try to do anything, to help them, by the time you become a public company, there will be no need for you to have to come, to raise funds through crowdfunding. And therefore, as we speak, there's a proposed amendment bill of the ISA at the National Assembly. We have looked at it and have also made provision for this to enable us operate crowdfunding for those that would be necessary for it to be done when the time comes.